Howdy folks, welcome to Cross Creek Outdoors. I got a couple of packages in the mail last week that I want to share with y'all. Well, I think it was last week. It's been really busy at work. Matter of fact, last week is going into its 9th day now. So a lot of hours and a lot of days. But anyway, one of those packages came from Dwayne Clark's Kentucky Knives. And I saw him at the Deep South show a couple of weeks ago. He told me he had a package he was sending me, and that it would probably be a little different, and but he thought it would go some of my stuff that I got, and he was right, it did. But one of the things he sent was this little pen knife, frost pen knife, Fisher's Men, and I think he's been sending a few of these out with his gift packages, but I like these little pen knives. Thank you. And something else that he normally sends is the little brown burlap bag. It's got some pocket crosses in it. He sent for me to pass out, and I will certainly do that. And also had a box of Marlin razor blades. Now, I saw a video when when he found these, and I didn't know Marlin made razor blades, but anyway, there they are. So that was a new one on me. And something else that he sent, these old Marbles cleaning patches, and you can see it still got patches in it. But yeah, and to go along with that, sent Marbles cleaning rod. Nice little wood handle, brass rod. So, I've seen these marble cleaning kits in antique stores and stuff, but the ones I found was rather expensive. So, but I appreciate that, Dwayne. And you're right. This will go with some of my stuff, because I got some old cleaning kits that I picked up. And the next package, as I drop everything, next package came from, well, I'll never get this right. I'm always putting them up or upside down or something. But anyway, from OAW, AW Custom Design, here in Williams. At AW, sent me this nice little case skinning knife, case Ridgeback. See what's on that snap there. Double X. This is a nice upswept skinning blade here. Got a really nice hollow grind on a deep hollow grind. Tall, so it's pretty thin behind the edge. We got it sharpened up. Ready to go. Nice finger choil there. Some good jimping on the back. Got some more down here in the end. And if I looked at this right, that is a 2007. Got the case logo in the handle. Just black, kind of rubberized plastic handle. And I'm not sure what the length is on this. I didn't measure the blade, but I'd say 4.5 maybe. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to putting this thing to use. this fall. So, AW, and oh, here it is. I got stuff scattered everywhere. There I go, putting them up there crooked again, upside down. But y'all go over and check these guys out, and I'm pretty sure y'all following them if you're watching me. But OAW, he does some really nice leather work, some modifications to knives, and this guy here, Dwayne, he finds some of the coolest stuff. You never know what you're gonna see on his channel. But y'all go over and check these guys out. Fellas, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. I got a couple scriptures I want to share with you this morning. And first one's going to come out of 1 Kings chapter 18. And I encourage y'all to go back and read a couple of chapters ahead of where I'm at here. Would be 16 and 17 of 1 Kings to kind of see what's going on here, because there's a lot going on right here in these couple of chapters. At this time, Ahab is king, and his lovely wife Jezebel. Yeah. But at this point in time, God has put a famine and a drought on the land here because of all the wickedness that was going on, and the worship of other gods, namely Baal. So, like I said, there's a famine going on here, and God tells Elijah, the prophet Elijah, that he's gonna send rain and to go show himself to King Ahab. So Elijah does, and while he's there, he challenges the prophets of Baal to really see who the real God is. And so y'all go back and read that, where they built an altar and called on their gods, and of course Baal, no answer. So Ahab calls on the real God, God Almighty, and he sends fire from heaven and consumes the altar and everything around it. It said it even consumed the dust and the water that was in the trenches. And then he had 450 prophets of Baal put to death. So now the lovely Jezebel is sure enough after Elijah. So, like I said, God said he's going to send rain. So Elijah goes up on Mount Carmel to pray, and tells his servant that's with him to go look toward the sea and see what he sees. So servant comes back, sees nothing. Elijah tells him to go 7 times. And that's where I want to pick this up at. And this will be verse 44 of chapter 18. And it says, "And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, Behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand. And he said, Go up, say to Ahab, Prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heavens were black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel." And this is the verse I want to really highlight right here, is verse 46. And it says, "And the hand of God was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel." So with everything else that's going on there, where God has really shown out, if you will, now with the drought and the famine and the fire from heaven consuming the altar, and now sending the rain, he's also got Elijah running past King Ahab in his chariot. So he outruns King Ahab back to Jezreel. So what's the significance of that verse? Well, for one thing, it's just one more instance where God is God and can do miraculous things. And the second verse that I want to go to, and we're going to come back to 1 Kings, but I want to go over to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1. And it says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witness, let us lay aside every weight and sin which doth easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us." So to tie these two together, God has appointed each of us in our lives a race, if you will. He's mapped out our life and plotted the course for us. And in verse 1 of chapter 12 in Hebrews, it tells us to lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. So going back to 1 Kings, and in chapter 18, verse 46, it says that Elijah girded up his loins. And another translation says that he gathered up his garments. So if you think about what Elijah was wearing back in those days, he wore a long robe. He gathered up his garments and girded them about his waist, around his loins. Now, why did he do that? So that nothing would hinder him in his run back to Jezreel. In Hebrews, it tells us to lay aside those weights and sins that so easily beset us. So the question I got for you today: what's hindering you in your race for the Lord? And I can ask myself that same question, because we all got our issues. Whether it's stuff we're dealing with in life, whether it's sickness, whether it's just the stress of a work, or whatever it is. It could be unforgiveness towards somebody else. So what's hindering you in your race that God has given you to run? Whatever it is, we should be on our face before God, binding up those hindrances, so that we can effectively work for the Lord. And like I said, it could be pretty much anything that could cause us to stumble and to get off course in what God has called us to do. So, in closing this morning, think about that. What's hindering you this morning? Go to the Lord with it. Ask Him for help to bind those things up. We can't do it on our own. We got to have God. God's going to have to help us behind that stuff. So, anyway, go back and read those chapters in 1 Kings, chapter 16, 17, and 18, and just see the hand of God work. And bind up those things that's hindering you in your race for the Lord. Well, that's all I got for you today. Brother Dwayne, hey Doug, I appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. And till we see you again here on Cross Creek Outdoors in these old woods, y'all have a blessed day.